First at 6, November's general election ballot now set after yesterday's primaries. Coming up, we'll meet the Republicans in races for the U.S. House and Senate, looking to beat out incumbent Democrats.
As kids get ready to head back to school, there's a rise of whooping cough cases here in Connecticut. We'll tell you what parents need to know heading into the fall.
Also, where the case stands for a man accused of a wrong-way road rage crash on Route 8 2 weeks ago.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. It's Wednesday. We're glad you're here with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. America Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Starting with the forecast like we often do, especially when the weather is nice and it looks like we're in a nice, stable weather pattern.
Did you like yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was just fine.
Not going to change a thing. Back to you.
Beautiful.
Nah, I got to fill it up a little bit, but it's really a carbon copy for the most part. Good morning. Nice to have you along on this Wednesday. It's a duplicate. We have turned up the temperatures just a little bit to get them back to normal, but the humidity is still largely on hold. There are a few chances for some storms. That's probably the only kink or kinks in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up. Satellite radar pictures, quiet around here, quiet around New England. Not looking for that to change. 61, our lucky 61 in Hartford, 64 degrees right now in New Haven. Our dew points are still behaving quite nicely in the mid to upper 50s near 60, and you can see around the region. That's the way we're going to keep it for at least another day or two. Here's your planner. Increasing the clouds. We may get 1 or 2 raindrops, and I mean 1 or 2 later on this afternoon, but largely temperatures getting back up to where they need to be in the low to mid 80s for the most part. 1 or 2 raindrops becomes 1 or 2 or a few opportunities for rain. We'll talk about that in the 7-day coming up. You know, I was in a hurry, and so I just couldn't get dressed completely. I got all straightened up here. Okay. Got to look all presentable for you, Rachel Piscatelli. Good morning to you. Right. My tie was all askew. It was driving me crazy.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. All right. Good morning. 6:02. I didn't even notice, Matt. I think you look great every day.
Oh.
Yeah. Nothing but compliments here at 6:02. We'll see how long that lasts. We are looking at a couple of slowdowns out on the roadways this morning because of roadwork that is beginning to wrap up. 84 eastbound out by exits 37 through 39 in Farmington this morning. We are seeing delays because of roadwork wrapping up. The left and center lane were closed at one point, so this is the backup that we're seeing now as they work to clear those cones. So give it a couple of minutes. Hopefully this will begin to improve over the course of between now and about 6:30. Live look outside over in Wethersfield this morning, 91 both directions. Volume is light. And we'll take a look at those drive times. Cromwell to New Haven, 22 minutes. Westbound 691, an 8-minute drive to 84. Tim and Erica, good morning.
Rachel, good morning to you. And we now know which Republicans will face incumbent Democrats in races for U.S. Senate and also House seats in November.
Yeah, the GOP party-backed candidates lost both of those races in yesterday's primaries. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us live in Manchester with the results on who did win the primaries. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. And we're here in Manchester this morning because this is the lifelong residence of Matthew Corey, who did win that Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate. He will now face off against Democrat incumbent Chris Murphy for that Senate seat in a rematch. Now, Corey is facing an uphill battle in this race. The last time that Connecticut voters voted a Republican to Congress, to Senate specifically, that was 1982. Now, Corey, victory, that came in that primary against Jerry Smith, the top elected official in Beacon Falls and the party-endorsed candidate. Corey is a Navy vet and a small business owner. Corey writing on X after his victory, quote, Chris Murphy's career has made life here increasingly unaffordable for CT's middle class. Tonight, I start bringing the case to unaffiliated and Democratic voters that they need a senator who fights for them. Murphy's campaign manager also out with a statement saying the incumbent will work hard to win re-election and keep up his work in the Senate to deliver for people in Connecticut. Now, also yesterday, doctor and lawyer Michael Goldstein won the Republican nomination in the 4th Congressional District in southwestern Connecticut. He will now face incumbent Democratic U.S. Rep. Jim Himes. Goldstein beating out Bob McGuffey a leader in the state's Tea Party movement and party-endorsed candidate. Goldstein says he will use his background as a physician to help reduce medical costs, and he's also pledged to better secure the border, restore energy independence, and improve the economy. Now, Senator Murphy and all 5 U.S. House Democrats here in Connecticut up for re-election, they did not face any primary challenges this year. Senator Richard Blumenthal was not up for re-election this year. We're live in Manchester this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Angela, thanks so much for the update there in Manchester. And we're also following the results of the primaries for seats at the state capitol.
Yeah, Bridgeport voters were at the polls for the 5th time now in the past year, as there were Democratic primaries for 1 House and 2 state Senate seats. Right now, incumbent Representative Andre Baker is leading a very tight race over former City Councilwoman Anita Martinez. He is leading by 28 votes. Martinez, by the way, is under state investigation for the misuse of campaign funds and absentee ballot fraud stemming from the 2019 election. Now, in the state Senate, the retirement of State Senator Marilyn Moore sparked a Democratic primary between 4 candidates for the seat there in District 22. Quinnipiac University professor Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox prevailed with 41% of the vote. Former Mayor Bill Finch came in second, followed by former City Councilor Tyler Mack and current City Councilor Scott Burns coming in 4th.
And in the Democratic primary for the Senate's 23rd district seat, incumbent Heron Gaston easily defeated Ernest Newton. The former senator was looking to get back to the state capitol after serving time in prison in a bribery case.
In Hamden, 2 votes separate Jennifer Pope and Lori Sweet in the Democratic primary for Connecticut House seat 91. Pope is leading that race right now, 100% of the precincts reporting, but there looks like there could definitely be a recount possibly there.
And 2 other results for you here from the Hartford area. First, the Democratic race for Senate District 2 in Hartford, Bloomfield, and West Hartford. Incumbent Douglas McCrory defeated his challengers, Ayanna Taylor and Shelley Davis. He's going to face Republican Kristen Hoffman in the general election. Now, in the Democratic primary for House District 15, incumbent Bobby Gibson won with 70% of the vote there. He defeated Jennifer Marshall Neely. Gibson will take on Republican Quentin Johnson in the general election. You can get election results sent directly to your phone. It's really easy. All you have to do is text the word election to the number on your screen right now, 860-527-6161, and we'll send you a link so that you can easily check out all of the results.
New this morning, another deadly crash, this time in Willington. State police told us a van and truck collided around 5:30 last night on River Road near Batty Road. They said the van crossed a double yellow line and hit the truck. The driver of the van, 37-year-old Fred Vietz, died. The truck driver has minor injuries. Well, this morning, there's a warning from the State Department of Public Health about a rise in whooping cough cases. So far, the number we've seen this year is nearly 10 times more than we saw last year.
Yeah, doctors say infants, immunocompromised people, and people with moderate to severe asthma are some of those that are most at risk. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is joining us now here with more on that warning from health officials. Brooke, good morning.
Hi, good morning to you. Well, healthcare experts say they believe the COVID-19 pandemic is to blame for the rise in cases because many kids didn't get their immunizations when they maybe should have, or they could just simply have weaker immune systems as they adjust to life out in public post-pandemic as they get older. Now, so far this year, there have been 93 reported cases. This compared to the 11 total cases in all of last year. Health department leaders say whooping cough looks like a case of RSV, the flu, or even just COVID-19. They tell us if you have a persistent cough, you should immediately get tested for this virus. It's spread through person-to-person contact. Often just the sharing of germs could be the case there. Experts say the virus can be contagious for weeks if it's on any sort of uncleaned surfaces. Doctors are asking people ages 11 to 64 to get a single booster dose of the Tdap vaccine. That's going to act as a booster because the one that you get as a child wears off over time. They tell us pregnant women and infants are also considered high risk when it comes to whooping cough. Doctors say watching out for symptoms and early treatment is key here.
This is really what is most important. Also, we're not really aware of any particular geographic clusters, but we have been aware of these school and daycare type of little outbreaks that we've seen, and particularly close family contacts of infants is where we have also seen that there could be cases, and where we want to make sure people are up to date in the vaccines.
And of course, if you end up contracting one of those cases, or if you know somebody that does, they do want you to report it. You can go over to the Connecticut Health Department's website, and that is where that reported case can go. We'll have more information on that at fox61.com. Tim and Erica, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thanks so much. Appreciate that report. All right, 6:10 now, and a man accused of driving the wrong way on Route 8 is due before a judge. Viewer video shows a pickup truck traveling in the northbound lanes 2 weeks ago today. State police say 27-year-old Timothy Serbeck of Torrington was driving the truck. Investigators say he told them that he was involved in a road rage crash, and then he drove off the wrong way out of fear of his safety. And one person arrested in connection with the death of a woman in Meriden is due in court. Mariah Farr is charged with assault. Police say Farr and a man got into a fight with Beth Nguiga near the City Green on July 22nd. They say a witness tried to break up the fight, and that's when Farr and the man and Nguiga ran toward the green. Now, that witness told police that the man who was with Farr shot Nguiga twice, killing her. Police are still looking for that man.